Today's lesson is called Greece, Ancient Ruins and Iconic Islands. Day 1. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
I am Roger, and we are going traveling here. We might whet your appetite for some summer travel. It's May right now, so of course you may be thinking about your summer trip. Where are you going to go during your summer holidays? If you can get some time off of work, or if it's your summer vacation from school, you might consider going to Greece. That's our travel destination today. Greece, ancient ruins and iconic islands.
There you go, and yes, there are plenty of beautiful ruins to see while you are in Greece and also iconic islands, but we're going to have to wait to talk about those things. We'll discuss those things right after a short break. Yes, folks, let's go ahead and take a short break, but when we come back, we'll start reading day 1 of our article on Greece, and we'll also talk about ancient ruins and iconic islands. So, folks, don't go away. Stay put. We'll get started right after this.
Greece, ancient ruins and iconic islands. Imagine white buildings, brilliant blue skies, and sparkling turquoise water. Combine this with some of the most amazing ancient sites in the world, and you have Greece. It's no wonder this country is one of the world's top travel destinations.
大家好，今天第一个单字我们看到的是 ruin， 这个字当作名词，代表遗址、废墟的意思。例如 Deep in the jungle, we found the ruins of an ancient city. 我们在丛林深处发现古城的遗址。
Okay, everybody, let's talk about our travel destination for this month, Greece, ancient ruins and iconic islands. Now, of course, when people think of Greece, they do think of ancient ruins, and of course they think of those iconic islands. Now, ruins, of course, are buildings or structures that were built hundreds of thousands of years ago. Well, maybe not that long ago, but maybe 2,000 or 3,000 years ago. And they're still standing. They're not exactly in perfect shape, like the Colosseum in Rome. That could be described as ruins from the Roman Empire. But of course, if you go to Greece, you're going to see all sorts of old buildings that are still standing. Those are ancient ruins.
Now, notice that Roger, when he's used this noun, ruin, that most often he said ruins. Now, technically, he could have said that the Colosseum in Rome there is an ancient ruin. That would have been okay, but most often, as far as usage is concerned, when people are talking about things that are broken down, old structures that have fallen apart, or what's left of old or ancient structures, they refer to these things as being ruins. So add the S when you're speaking. Anyways, very simply, ruins are what is left of an old or damaged city or building. And yes, often the word ruins refers to the abandoned remains of an ancient civilization. So the ancient Greeks themselves are no longer with us. They're long dead. That civilization, I should say, is long dead, but their buildings do remain. They're broken down and they've fallen apart to a certain extent, but these buildings, these ruins are still with us, and they are beautiful. They are wonderful. And yes, to be totally clear, this word ruin or ruins, it's being used as a noun here. It's not the verb ruin, though the ideas behind these two words are somewhat similar. Yes, if you ruin something, you destroy that thing. So ruins are destroyed or ruined buildings. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on and talk about the word iconic. Remember, Greece apparently is comprised of some iconic islands. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this adjective iconic here. The word iconic kind of means extremely famous or well-known. Now, in other situations, okay, this word iconic also means of or having to do with icons, okay? That's what it usually means, though here it just means famous, extremely famous, or well-known. But more on this word icon. What's an icon? often, an icon is a person or a thing that people emulate or hope to be like. Very often, an icon is not unlike a hero, but that's not the case here.
Iconic usually brings some kind of picture to your mind. So if you think about those islands in Greece, you're going to see pictures of them on travel posters. They'll be of these nice blue seas and these really white buildings and things like that. When you see a travel poster for Greece, usually they put the pictures of those things on those islands there. So that's why the islands are iconic. They kind of visually represent Greece to the rest of the world. Now imagine white buildings, brilliant blue skies, and sparkling turquoise water. Okay, so these are some of the things you might expect to see if you're in Greece. You might see some white buildings. Yes, I can imagine that. There are lots of pictures of these seaside towns or seaside villages that have these whiter than white buildings. Also, you're going to see brilliant blue skies. The weather is always wonderful there. It doesn't get cloudy and rainy like it does in Taipei during the winter. And of course, you're going to see sparkling turquoise water. Now, turquoise here is kind of a combination of green and blue. Actually, it's a precious stone. You could buy turquoise jewelry, for example, from some of the native tribes in North America. They specialize in turquoise jewelry. I had some when I was a kid, maybe a ring or something like that, bought at the Indian reservation in South Dakota. But in any case here, the water is kind of green with a little blue mixed in.
Turquoise water. I like turquoise. Turquoise is a beautiful mixture of green and blue, and you already talked about that. Turquoise, by the way, and Roger did mention this as well, turquoise is also a precious stone of this color, the color turquoise. Anyways, you've got white buildings, brilliant blue skies, and then sparkling turquoise water. Now, combine these things, or combine this with some of the most amazing ancient sites in the world, and you have Greece. And lucky you guys, we are going to be traveling to Greece today and the day after today in our minds. This is a mental trip to one of the great tourist destinations on Earth that we'll be taking, and boy, are we ever going to have a whole lot of fun. Anyways, because of all of these things, for all of these reasons, it's no wonder that Greece, this country, is one of the world's top travel destinations. So there you have it. All right, folks, with that, the first portion of our lesson is now through and in the books, and it's time for us to take a short break. But don't go away. When we come back, we'll start reading from the second paragraph of today's lesson.
Many visitors to Greece start their adventures in Athens, the 5,000-year-old city said to be the cradle of Western civilization. Athens not only held the first modern Olympics, but also established the first democracy. An enduring symbol of this democracy, and of ancient Greece in general, is the Parthenon. The beautiful white marble structure was completed in 438 BC after just 9 years of work and originally served as a monument to Athena. The Parthenon sits at the top of the Acropolis of Athens, a World Heritage Site that has been called the greatest architectural and artistic complex from ancient Greece.
第二部分我们看到的单字是 civilization， 这个字当作名词，它有文明或是文明社会的意思。所以我们可以说 We don't really know how the civilization built the huge temple. 我们还不清楚这个文明是怎么盖出这间巨大神殿的。再来我们看到的单字是 establish， 这个字当作动词，代表建立或是设立的意思。例如 The two brothers established a school for blind children. 这对兄弟为盲童建立学校。接下来我们看到的单字是 monument， 这个字当作名词，它有纪念性的建筑物、纪念碑或是历史遗迹的意思。例如我们在华府之旅中参观了所有主要的名胜古迹，英文可以这么说We visited all the major monuments on our trip to Washington, D.C. 再来我们看到的单字是 architectural， 这个字当作形容词，代表建筑上的或是建筑学的意思。所以我们可以说 The building's design was not up to the neighborhood's architectural standards. 这栋大楼的设计不符合该社区的建筑标准。接下来我们看到的单字是 artistic， 这个字当作形容词，它有艺术的或是有艺术天赋的意思。 例如，那个夏令营提供许多艺术活动，例如绘画和制陶。英文可以这么说：The summer camp offers many artistic activities, like painting and ceramics.
Okay, everybody, so if you want to go to Greece and you're coming from Taiwan, you're probably going to book a flight that will eventually take you to the capital city of Athens. So many visitors to Greece start their adventures in Athens, the 5,000-year-old city said to be the cradle of Western civilization. Of course, a cradle is a small bed where babies sleep. You might rock the cradle at night, move it back and forth so the baby will go to sleep. Again, it's a bed for an infant or a very small baby. But also, if we talk about the cradle of civilization, it's kind of like the place where civilization began. In this case, where Western civilization began. We often talk about the cradle of civilization of the world being in Mesopotamia, in the Tigris and Euphrates River valleys, in current, nowadays, Iraq. That's the cradle of civilization in the world. Or where's the cradle of Chinese civilization? Where's that? You could answer that amongst yourselves. But in this particular case, we're talking about the place where Western civilization began.
There you go. The cradle of civilization is, or was, I should say, the Fertile Crescent, even though that crescent, that Fertile Crescent, that place no longer exists. That's the cradle of civilization, where civilization came from or started, and apparently people hold Athens to be, or believe Athens to be, the cradle of Western civilization. So Athens is the place where Western civilization started, or where it came from. Now, before we move on, let's talk about this word civilization. We've only said it about 10 times now, so let's define it. What is civilization? A civilization is a society in which people live together in a highly developed way. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. The next sentence tells us more about Athens. Get this, Athens not only held the first modern Olympics, but also established the first democracy. So, before Athens came along, before Athens came into existence, democracy did not exist. It formed there before Athens, and before its formation in Athens, I should say, democracy did not exist anywhere on planet Earth. How about that? Now, before we move on again, let's go ahead and talk about the verb establish. To establish something is to found something. Yes, if you establish something, you start, set up, or form something in a formal and or official way.
I could say this company was established way back in 1954 and it's still going strong today. So indeed, in Athens, they established the first democracy in the world. An enduring symbol of this democracy and of ancient Greece in general is the Parthenon. So, of course, if you go to Athens, you're going to see this symbol of democracy, and that is the Parthenon, which in the next sentence is described. The beautiful white marble structure was completed in 438 BC, before Christ, after just 9 years of work, and originally served as a monument to Athena. That's why they built the Parthenon. It was to recognize or be a monument to the goddess Athena.
Yes, what's a monument? Very simply, a monument is a structure meant to commemorate a famous person or even a fictional person, like a god, like Athena. Yes, monuments commemorate people or things or important historical events. And you should know this, everyone. Monuments can be statues, buildings, or pretty much any other structure, okay? Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. The Parthenon sits at the top of the Acropolis of Athens, a World Heritage Site that has been called the greatest architectural and artistic complex from ancient Greece. Yes, folks, if you go to Greece, if you go to Athens, and you don't visit the Acropolis, you will have missed out on one of the greatest things on Earth. It's a World Heritage Site, the Acropolis is, and it has been called the greatest architectural artistic complex from ancient Greece. So make sure you don't miss this if you do go to Greece and to Athens. Now, before we take a break, we've got two vocabulary words to cover. The first of these is the word architectural. This word is an adjective, and it means having to do with architecture. You know, the design and construction of buildings from an artistic or aesthetic point of view. Further, we also have this word artistic. What does this adjective mean? It means creative or of or having to do with the arts, the creation of art, etc.
I guess the Acropolis in Athens has more than just one building there. There's more buildings there than just the Parthenon, but check it out. And tell your friends when you come back, remember to take lots of pictures because it is an ancient building, the greatest architectural and artistic complex from that period of history. Okay, let's move on now to the third and final portion of today's lesson. We're going to listen to it first.
Some 200 kilometers from Athens lies another striking World Heritage Site, the ancient town of Delphi. During ancient Greek times, this town was considered the center of the world. Legend has it that it was built on the spot where Zeus's eagles collided after he released them from opposite ends of the world. Located on a cliff overlooking the Gulf of Corinth, the area boasts both inspiring views and beautiful ruins.
第三部分我们看到的单字是 overlook， 这个字当作动词，代表俯瞰、眺望或是忽略、忽视的意思。例如 We had a picnic on top of a hill that overlooked a beautiful lake. 我们在可以俯瞰美丽湖泊的小山丘上野餐。今天最后一个单字我们看到的是 inspiring， 这个字当作形容词，它有激励人心的意思，所以我们可以说 The inspiring speech the man gave was about never giving up your dreams. 那个男人做了一个非常激励人心的演讲，其内容是关于永不放弃梦想。
All right, folks, before the break, we talked about the Acropolis. If you go to Greece and you don't go to the Acropolis, you will have missed out on one of the great sites in the world, okay? It's a World Heritage Site, and it's chock full of world-famous stuff, so you gotta go to the Acropolis. But when you're done at the Acropolis, Greece has so much more for you to behold as well, including other World Heritage Sites. Get this, some 200 kilometers from Athens lies another striking World Heritage Site, the ancient town of Delphi. And yes, during ancient Greek times, this town was considered the center of Greece. No, actually it wasn't. This town was considered not the center of Greece, but the center of the world, the entire world. How about that?
Or maybe even the center of the entire universe. But it's a World Heritage Site. Of course, the UN has recognized the importance of this place, and they have given it this recognition. It's Delphi, and it was considered the center of the world. Now, legend has it that it was built on the spot where Zeus's eagles collided after he released them from opposite ends of the world. So it was considered the center of the world because of this. Legend has it. You could also say according to legend or according to an old story. This was the place where these eagles bumped into each other. They smashed into each other. Zeus released those eagles from opposite ends of the world. Maybe at the time they thought the world was flat or something, so Zeus kind of stretched out his arms to one side and then the other side and said, okay, eagles, I'm going to let you go, and you guys fly to the center of the world, and wherever it is that you bash into each other, that's going to be the center of the world.
Wow, Roger, that sure does sound far-fetched to me. That sounds like a story to me, a fable or a myth or a legend. And maybe that's why the author of our article, maybe that's why she began this sentence, I should say, with this phrase, legend has it. Yes, this phrase is used when indicating that you are telling other people something that you have heard, or when you're not sure if what you're saying is true or not. Now, there are similar phrases to this, by the way. You could say word has it or rumor has it as well. And very simply, to collide is to crash or to wreck into something. So if two or more things run into or smash into one another with a lot of force, you can say that these things, like these eagles, have collided. Now, the next sentence says, located on a cliff overlooking the Gulf of Corinth, the area boasts both inspiring views and beautiful ruins. And remember, we're talking about Delphi, the city that used to be the center of the world, or which was thought of as being the center of the world in ancient Greece. Anyways, before we move on, let's talk about two words. The first of these is the verb overlook. To overlook in this situation is to look down on something from an elevated position. Yes, we're being literal here. If you are overlooking something, you are in a high location capable of looking down on something else. Then we also have this word inspiring. If something is inspiring, it inspires you. It fills you with awe and wonder.
Yes, it's very inspiring to travel to the central mountain range here in Taiwan. It inspires me to do some oil painting of mountain scenery. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天文法重点。课文一开始提到白色的建筑、蔚蓝的天空、碧蓝的海水，再加上最令人赞叹的古代遗址，得到的结果就是希腊。好，那接着他说 It's no wonder this country is one of the world's top travel destinations. 无怪乎，难怪这个国家呢，它是世界上最热门的旅游景点之一。那这边用到的句型是 It's no wonder 加上 that 子句，表示难怪怎么样，什么什么不足为奇，不令人惊讶。那句子里面的 it 它是虚主词，真正的主词是在后面的 that 子句，那个 that 还可以省略不用。好，那除了 no wonder， 你还可以用 small wonder 或者是 little wonder 来替换。举例来说 There are dozens of books in the box. It's no wonder that the box is so heavy. 这箱子里面有好几十本书，难怪箱子会那么重。好，那我们刚刚说到 that 可以省略，其实前面的 it's 还可以省略不用，你可以只说 no wonder 或是 small wonder 或是 little wonder， 后面直接接主词加动词。像刚刚的例句，你也可以直接说 no wonder the box is so heavy。好，课文第二部分一开始有一个句子提到Many visitors to Greece start their adventures in Athens, the 5,000-year-old city said to be the cradle of Western civilization. 许多到希腊旅游的游客从雅典开始他们的探险旅程。那据说这一座有5000年历史的城市是西方文明的摇篮。句子里面的名词 cradle 它是指摇篮 The cradle of something 就表示某事物的发祥地或是发源地，像 The cradle of civilization 就表示文明的起源。那我们再顺便补充几个跟 cradle 摇篮有关的用语，像 from cradle to grave 或是 from the cradle to the grave 就表示从摇篮到坟墓，那就表示从出生到死亡。举例来说 The book describes her life from cradle to grave那本书描述了他的一生。好，那还有一个很有趣的用法 rob the cradle 抢走摇篮，那它其实是指老少配，老牛吃嫩草。有时候我们看到好可爱好帅的小男孩，就会开玩笑说我们要执行10年养成计划，这可能就类似他说的抢走摇篮那种概念了。好，那在课文第三部分我们看到一个句子说Legend has it that it was built on the spot where Zeus's egos collided after he released them from opposite ends of the world. 传说这个城市的位置就在宙斯将老鹰从世界的两端放出来之后相撞的地点。好，那这边用到一个句型是 Legend has it加上 that 子句，表示传说怎么样怎么样。那其中这个 legend 是名词，它固定用单数。那么 it 是虚受词，是用来代替它后面的 that 子句。其他还有类似的句型，像 rumor has it 或是 word has it 后面也是接 that 子句，表达说谣传怎么样，有传言怎么样怎么样。举例来说Rumor has it that they broke up. 有传言说他们分手了。好，那么以上是今天的重点整理，接着我们就来回顾单字吧。
Ruin. We explored the ancient ruins of Machu Picchu while in Peru. Civilization. The Persian civilization is one of the oldest to have ever existed. Establish. My company was established over 10 years ago. Monument. People raised money to help build a monument to those killed in the terrorist attack. Architectural. The Egyptian pyramids were an amazing architectural achievement for their time. Artistic. Leonardo da Vinci produced many works of great artistic value. Overlook. The hotel's balcony overlooks a peaceful lake. Inspiring. Melanie gave an inspiring speech at our high school graduation.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.